Asa ndokwa zunini ajaje ni ndio motofe. Mmebo Professor Chukwuemeke Ojone Oje. Mmebo de akwụkwọ ya bụ Secretary General ndokwa Neku Union. Ndokwa Neku Union bụ kpokpuru Osande ndokwa. Ya bụ kpokpuru Katashine ni ndokwa. Mmebo de akwụkwọ we. Ife shinanyi zunebe na kete. Bushi anyị ndị nọ na-anọchi anya ndị ndokwa na NNU ni ofotu ụmụ ndokwa ndị anyị sọbụsan chikweso anyị nọdị anyị ni ndị ụmụ anyị ndị kom ndị om ndị chọnikwe nọchi anya anyị n'ọdụ dịta bebe shini akwụkwọ weje ka atụ n'ime ọnwa kene bịakọni anyị nụ echọni ka anyị susuru ọnụ kete bụ ụbọchị ike osu n'iteneni n'ime ọnwa ka ọdụ na asụ akene anyị chọrọ ka wee bịaba agwa ndokwa ife eje ka eme n'anyị n'anyị na-ebusani shi ndị nọ na-eji egbo wee bịata elerịọta anyị isi anyị bịaba tụ ya n'ụwa akwụkwọ ọdụbụshi asụ ise ọzọ asụ ene ọzọ ka oge ọ bụ na wee chọọ nikwe jeji wee chọọ ashinishikwe anyị tụ ya n'ụwa akwụkwọ ya kwa eje ka abịaba anyara anyị anyị ọsa ife ndị wee kwụtenikwa wee je ka arụ anyị afọ ife wee rụni anyị na-edo chi ọsa mmadụ ndị nwe na anyị dị ndị ọ bụ ndị anị mmadụ ọ bụ si anyị kewere dịdọ mme sụọ biko bịa n'onwere ike bụrụ asịsị dịke lụkwa anyị na-ekwusi Amerịka n'ọchịchị gba onwere ike bụrụ asịsị wedị n'elu osisi ife elu na-arụ sụọ dị na-arụkwume ya bụ ihe elelu ka ndị ji n'igwa sụọ bịa wee gwafọ anyị ife eje ka arụ anyị na-ekedi dịka sọ dị n'ụzọ anyị agwawesị ụwa Chineke je ka aka ndokwa mma meme na-ele na ya bụ anyị ọnọdụ ikeketa anyị na oje ka akpara ụka anyị na-ekparịta ụka nọ anyị debusi ife ndị nwe kwunu weje ka arụ ya bụ ife ndị anyị nwe kwe n'ikwa chi akwa eje ka arụ na anyị ọ bụrụ sọ wee garị n'itu akwụkwọ na weje ka atụ ya bụ votu na weje ka ememe elekshọn na weje ka ememe n'ọnwa abịakọni anyị si n'ebe n'ụpụ wee bakwachi n'ọdụnụ anyị edebusagori ele anyị na weje ka eji na-ezu oge na oge wee bịaba agwa anyị ele na-arụsame anyị memeta na osife anyị ka ememe kete anyị ndị NNU nọ na-anọchi anya ndị ndokwa anyị na weje ka ebie aka na akwụkwọ ndị nọ anyị je ka ede kete oge bụ eru ele n'ele anyị na weje ka ekwu anyị ezu anyị agọshiwe n'ife onye anyị ndedoni n'ụbọchị osuniteneni n'ime ọnwa ka ọ dụ na 2023 anyị ada na-ene ife ndị ofu ada na-agọchi anyị ndị rụfụrụ ndị werụ achị na anyị ekwenye n'ụwachi eso megela wo si ụnụ arụgọ kenel onwe chi ebe dị ka chi ọ na-agbara ife na adashin wike kwanụ anyị marị ni mmadụ dị ka PG anyị onye nọ na-achị data kịta na ka onye je ka achịji n'oge je ka abịanị wee na-anya okike so anyị dị na-abịa na-ekwudo wee so ife dị n'aka ọma anyị ka eweri na-eje na-agwa onye ọbụla nọ na-achị data chi nwaanyị dịlena si n'ife ọgwa na anyocha bụ nsogbu nọ na-enwe n'ime ọchịchị oge n'ụwa adị mmemme ife ka ọ dị n'onye awa anụnọ elenu ọsa ndokwa je ka ezu n'ebe na kete anyị ememachigoro ife kpọ na zoom oyibo memeni ndị dịbịa gbochi n'ebe na onwachigoro ele weje ka eji shi na akpati onyinyo na afọ ife nọ na-eme n'ebe na kete ụmụiku elelu ka ofu gara n'ikwu n'ụtụtụ na ọ dịziachi ma ekwuziachi isi agwarị mmebụ Prọfesọ Oje Chukwuemeke Ojone Secretary General ndokwa Neku Union isi agwarị nwere ma jie anyị ka akpọ elenu ọka na-etu ụmụnne ka anyị bịa n'ebe akpa n'ebe na ije mmemme esi ike ndame wee were okike tie mebi mmadụ na ibe ya ebido na adedịdọ ọ dị ka ndame elenu ya chọchi ka imeri karịa ibe so anyị biko anyị ka akwa ya ndama ka elenu anyị ka esusuru ọnụ kete
oge urobo progressive union menike ya bụ ya ndị urobo menike we memeteni wedi nete obene ke katamma shi ekamande ya ka mama po enochi we ya bụ oba endorse we nesele endorsement ya ka dikete
endorsement ka dị ni ife ka ife gu na mo bụ shinele kparo ka anyị je ka aga anyị agwashi na ndokwa so eto isu n'ebe na Chinonu Ukwuani ndọkọ na amara ebe eje ka atọ isi ndọkọ na amara ebe eje ka atọ isi banyị zụta gwara ike ekete ọ bụrụ asịsị kenu ka ị na-akwụ endorsement ọdawo bụ ọbụ endorsement elu oyibo demeni ọnụokwu ke endorsement n'ụkọba asụsụ ke endorsement ma anyị ji na-ekparịta ụka kete anyị na-agọshishi onye na ọbụ onye ka eri si onye ka si ife okwu na oje ka arụ ni ndọkwa agọshigọshi amarịgọrị ife oje ka arụ ni ndọkwa
eziokwu bụ eziokwu ndụkwa na igwe wente onye ife wemanishi okwu efe ba na wenya wana atụ ya na ya chi na okwu chukwu n'ude mesho kpokoro kene kwe fashuwe
wafuwe
mbene narị
wafuwe n'ike na eweje ka afụ na akpati onyinyo ọnọdụ n'uji na ibido kofu na nọmba ndị nọ oyibo kpọnụ the Zoom link onye ọbụla ebe anyị na-ebe oje ka adachi na onye dịgasị ọ dị n'ime Benvo event center na anyị nọ na-eme onye ọbụla na-ewere anya afọ
oge ke n'ọsụkwa na edinene iwere ọnụ ọma were ikele wee
ọsụkwa na izu nini ọsa ndị osimiri izu nini ọsa ndọkwa izu nini ekenego m unu mmebụ prọfesọ Ojie Chukwuemeka Ojione Secretary General ndọkwa na-ekwu union mbenanio unu tienu n'ọdụ kenu ewerechigo mefe kena na-ekene unu ji na-etu ya n'ụmụ akwụkwọ nje na-eburu Secretary General na agwashi unu si Chukwu dị na-enye n'anya ka na ọrụ ka o ishi egwari
yo
The essence of this gathering actually is interact from past with candidates seeking votes, local votes, Ukwuani votes. 2023 is around the corner, and they are here with us today. Opening prayers, we call on the Secretary General of NNU Ukwuani Union, Professor take us through the open prayers.
Because you can't be short term. Never become a sure before the world. Never Jesus. Chukunarani. I'm going to kill every year. I'm going to get you where you can do any walk out of the you fugori so si fete ke mene bena kete chi amare fugori tu le lu anya marka chi forma chi ade ke mene bena kete ai chi gabadi ni me okoro kena osanze ni mosi sewe fisani no de kete e baranje ka bande bena kete bayani organisu n'ọdịni mma Ukwuani Chukwu nara anyị biko ka ọ bụrụ ife dịka edu ndọkwa jenu ndọkwa ekejani n'efe Jesu ọsọ mgbe iwe na iwere ibe agọchi ndị ndọkwa ọdịni ndị kom ọdịni ndị o nọ na-achọ kwụ ndọka tụ ya n'ụwa akwụkwọ bụ ejije anọchi anya anyị Chukwu nara anyị were amamife were iwe were ọganisu ndọkwa were ji ewe ni mkpụrụ obi n'efe Jesu ọsa ndị na-adịfe ndị ọzọ anyị na-enye arịa ka anyị na-arịọ si n'efe anwaghị bụ Jizọs Kraịst ise
I think this is one of that.
Yes, I know.
Move straight to next on our agenda is targets. Here we have Dr. Charles Nabowe, chairman of today's occasion. We have our chief host here today, President General of the Ukwuani Union, General Mike Udubisi, retired. Please, for time's sake, I'm able to read out all names here and all distinguished guests. You are welcome to this event. Among candidates present are Sir Monday Onyeme, vying for Deputy Governorship PDP with the White Party, is here present. We have Honorable Nnamdi Ezechi, House of Reps, PDP present here. We have Honorable Charles Ebeto, candidate to the House Assembly, Local West PDP. You have Mr. Tony Omolu,
invited guests, especially our candidates who are vying for honorable positions in the houses. Other invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are grateful to Almighty God for making it possible for us to be here. To discuss among ourselves, for the followers, for the betterment of the foundation. The foundation has been founded, NNU has been founded on unity, peace and progress. It is the progress of the place we're actually asking for. Anybody who's leaving the shores of global nation to represent us, either to Sahara or Abuja, should go with us. Areas are not with you, and nobody's ideal. So if you take it, we need to be happy. We send our first 11, not our second 11 members. For that, therefore, I'm of the opinion that whatever we're going to speak today should be the English language which we are going to utilize when we're in the houses. Speak to us, address us as you do when you're in the house. We are asking them as they talk to us in the manner they are going to let them. And for those of us being talked to, people within and diaspora, let us behave ourselves. Go with them with element of decorum, so that we can listen to them very effectively and be able to judge. We know that there are many undecided voters among us. Maybe at the end of that speech today, we will make up our minds. Secondly, manifesto to be voter-driven and party-driven. We want our own manifesto in us. Whatever you tell us should be in line with what we think. It is not necessarily what your party has told you, but what we expect you, because that's going to come up during discussion session and question and answer session. We need to hear you well, so I'll be able to decide whether what we're going to do with you to agenda. PG, those here present, I thank all of you present for being with us. Thank you very much.
Humbly call on the PG, the President General, the Ukwuani Union, General Mike Udubisi, retired, to address this.
Our Royal Majesties, here represented by the chiefs, high chiefs, the distinguished
candidates, Your Excellencies, distinguished senators, our House of Rep members, the Right Honorables, and the Honorables as well. You are very much welcome. I welcome you all to this gathering. I also want to welcome our distinguished ladies and gentlemen whom we have invited to be part of this occasion. As a matter of fact, I must say I sing very highly. Because I hope you wouldn't mind. Because forgive me for that. I also want to welcome our distinguished Ndokwa sons and daughters, Dashine, for your presence and then for answering our invitation to this very great gathering. I want to say that we're very, very happy having you here for answering our invitation. As a matter of fact, very much welcome. Then members of the fourth estate of the realm, members of the press, thank you also for your presence. I want to thank the Ndokwa FM that is streaming this event live. And please, we want absolute silence here because all over the world you'll be surprised that this event is being aired, and that is why we are taking it very, very seriously. I want to say that actually the aim of this occasion is to assemble our illustrious sons and daughters, the candidates of Ukwuani Nation who are from the various political parties and also who are contesting for their various positions in the forthcoming elections. This event indeed is for them, and then so that they can come here where Ndokwa, if we were winning for Ndokwa, particularly their manifestos, and what, by the grace of God, when they win in the various positions they are contesting for, what they have for us in Ndokwa. Very, very sad is the fact that previously our sons and daughters, our politicians who are elected into positions, ignore the promises they make to the Ukwuani Nation. They get to the various positions, political positions, and of course, the Ndokwa people who voted them into those positions are very often ignored. So this event really is for them to come and tell us what they have for the Ukwuani Nation. We also want to say that this event will present an opportunity for us to beg our candidates from the various political parties that Osanija will meaning that whatever things we do for the campaigns and for the elections proper should be very, very peaceful. Very, very peaceful and in the spirit of sportsmanship. In the spirit of sportsmanship, we should conduct our electioneering and everything peacefully. I think I want to also observe that so far, so good. We have not had incidents of violence. I think what we have seen so far are situations where billboards of opposing candidates are being torn in some communities. And the I think, can you stop with that and say, this is an exercise for all of us. Can you behave ourselves peacefully and in the rightful manner? Well, before I sit down, when this opportunity go, it's always very rare for us to assemble this kind of gathering. And so permit me to say that the Ukwuani, the apex body of the socio-political apex body of the Ukwuani Nation,
actually has not been up and doing in terms of coming out like this because of funding. There is a paucity of funds for the NNU. And so please, let me just use this opportunity to say that there are ways and means that we can raise funds. So if you see our text messages, our letters to you, asking you to pay your membership dues, please don't be surprised. You cannot run any organization without funding. We want to raise funds from members. If you are a true son or daughter of Ukwuani, you are automatically a member of the Ukwuani of the NNU. And so you have to pay first, those who are not yet registered, your registration dues. And then secondly, monthly or annual dues. I believe that if we do this, we are going to be able to raise so much funds to be able to run this organization. I also want to plead with our elected politicians as well as the appointed ones. We hope right from the councillors up that there should be monthly dues to the NNU as well. And so from the end of this month, January, leaders will come out and to various individuals and organizations for the purpose of raising funds for the NNU. Right. Lastly, I want to observe, ladies and gentlemen, particularly our politicians, that there have been complaints from our monarchs, our traditional rulers, that they are not being respected by politicians. Very often in public gatherings, our politicians, our sons, our daughters hardly find time where they see the monarchs, the traditional rulers, even to go and greet them. But meanwhile, we find your counterparts from other ethnic nationalities. The warm receptions they give to their traditional rulers, their monarchs, puts our own monarchs to shame. So I want to use this opportunity to plead with us all. In fact, let me even say that I am not surprised that despite our invitations, maybe the monarchs are not here out of they are not here with us out of protest. They are protesting that they are not being respected by our politicians. So also the NNU. The NNU has often been ignored. The elders and leaders of the Ukwuani nation have also not been given their right places by the politicians. I think this is wrong. I want to warn that we should not take the collective resolve of the traditional rulers, the NNU, and the Ukwuani elders for granted. Because if there are erring politicians, the collective resolve of these three groups in the Ukwuani nation will wreak havoc for any political career of anybody in the Ukwuani nation. So I want to plead with our politicians to please give respect to those that respect is due. I think on that note, I want to once again welcome our distinguished candidates. We are so happy with you. We want to thank you for coming. We want to thank you for also respecting our invitations. We hope that those that are not here, as the program continues, will join us very soon. Thank you very much.
That was a wonderful speech by MOPG. Please, can we do a better hand of applause for him? While the speech was ongoing, we have 3 more candidates here with us. Among them are High Chief Johnson Dobode, House of Reps, APC. We also have Honorable NNU, House of Assembly, APC Dubai. And then we also have Honorable Valentine, House of Assembly, Dubai West, APC.
For this program, and we'll really appreciate it if we can adhere strictly to these ground rules. That is why I need to say it in English so that it is well understood, so that I don't say it another way. The first one is that every person, every candidate here will be given 5 minutes. 5 minutes to speak. In that 5 minutes, you will introduce yourself. You will tell us the office you are running for, and then you tell us what you will do in that 5 minutes. When you've spoken for 4 minutes and you are still on, we will tell you that you have 1 more minute. After that 1 more minute, you'll be muted. You'll be muted because time is not on our side. And then we have floor managers and timekeepers. Floor managers and timekeepers that will help tell you when it is 1 minute to time. So please, you can summarize everything in 5 minutes. Please, no attacks or disparaging remarks, like the one I just heard now saying, so funny. We don't want that. No attacks, no disparaging remarks, no booing, no shouting down on anybody. Please, let's be civil. Let's talk with decorum in this auditorium. The audience is not allowed to insult anyone, no matter what the person says, no matter what you feel. Please, when we get outside, the floor is open for you. But right here, NNU is saying no attack on any candidate all through the program. Only the panelists will ask the questions. If you have the questions, please write it down and bring it to this table. The panelists will appoint those to speak. All cell phones, please, should be put on silent. Thank you very much. Bye.
We are set to roll. Like she rightly pointed out, if you have questions, send it down to the panel. The audience will have a right. It's an interactive session where we are in here. You have a right to ask your questions, but we are coordinating so that we don't get a rowdy environment. Next, I would like to say here, the main reason we are here, we're about to start, and we are taking it bottom up. That is to say, we are starting with the House of Assembly members. Feel free, please be very much time conscious because we don't have all the time. We have so many here. Time conscious. We have Dr. Ukwuani in the house now. Give the police in the house. He is of Labour Party. House of Reps. So we are taking off with the House of Assembly. Please, I'm calling this in no particular order. So don't feel the first of all that you are giving a preference now. On my list here, Chief Chooks Onyamuru, Data House Assembly, Labour Party. Can you please come to the Honorable Emeka Osamucha, PDP candidate the National Assembly. Take your seat, please. Honorable Tony NNU, APC, the boys, DTH. Honorable Bolasai, Oyabike, APC, Honorable Charles Emetolo, PDP, the West Council. Honorable Ashiwe Ambrose, Local West, Africa. Honorable Ifeanyi Uzoka, Local West. Is he here with us? Barrister Jasmine. No, Jasmine is not. He will be. And last one on the list is Tony Ukwuani. Ukwuani. Please, we are taking it. We have the YPP candidate, Local West, Azuka Oseni. Azuka Osai. Where is it, please? Okay, join now. Odili Ogochukwu, ADC. Please, can we have sanity here, please? Can we leave the stage, please? Hello, madam.
Us and the House of Assembly, I can go through. And in no particular order, so that like boy first, you say and if you come and I boy last, they say you are to in no particular order. I hope I know well. Okay, independent one, then I will say one more challenge. Ela que women who full in a non so you will say I was on point, but you will be signing the on point. You are going to think of full invest or sign the full share one. The Busan House of Assembly candidates for African development. Okay, ADC. So I'm Mr. Odili Ogochukwu from is remember 5 minutes for your speech, 6 minutes for question and answer to you while you are still standing, and 1 minute for you to round up. That is 12 minutes altogether. Madam, here you go. So, we will also introduce them. Okay. It's okay.
My chairman, the PG,
your time has started.
This great unit. Every member said all protocol duly and rightly observed. Starting before you. That's my name. ADC candidate representing Indokwa West constituency. I am from Emu Kingdom. Yes. I start like this. Yes, we are from Ukwuani here, but there are some issues going on that even we or those in leadership never take it as a problem. The first thing I will do getting to office is to restore peaceful coexistence in all the communities in the Indokwa West. Just take for instance, people in Oborugwa, imagine how they move now. They spend more than 2,000 naira to come to KWALE. Rather, they can spend just 500 naira to come to KWALE. Why? Communal crisis. Our leaders never see it as a problem. But it's a problem because when brothers are living together in peace and unity, it attracts prosperity. So in my 100 days in office, every community, every warring community in Indokwa West, I will make sure that they peacefully coexist in my first 100 days in office. 2, for the past 5 years, KWALE and Indokwa West as a whole, we don't have electricity. Is it that we don't have leaders? We give out light to other people, but we don't have it here. Why? It's because of bad, poor management. Getting there, that is one of my priorities. To restore power to Indokwa West. It might come in 2 dimensions. If I can't link Indokwa West back to the national grid, I will divert another means to make sure there is electricity in Indokwa West. We have our people working in oil companies. Most of those staffs are casual staffs. Is this supposed to be so? No. Why? Because our big wings are taking those jobs as their own contract, thereby paying our boys peanuts. When I get there, I will make policies. I will visit those companies to ensure that our indigents are employed as full staff, not as casual. We are rich in agriculture in Delta State and Indokwa West, but here we don't know how to make use of it. We only wait for season to plant. When I'm there, I'm going to introduce irrigation farming in Indokwa West.
May I humbly stand on the existing protocol. My names are Jaswin Onyemaiwe Esquire. I'm a lawyer by profession. I
attended Ukwuani Grammar School.
Why will you be shooting video? And that guy that is organized walking in front of you.
Went to Delta State University and left for Abafemi Awolowo University.
You will shout for
Currently
person.
to do my master's and today doing my PhD in law. By the special grace of God today, I am the candidate of ABGA for the House of Assembly in Ukwuani. My manifesto today is brief, so it is going to cover the subject matter. We must understand that the starting point in studying any codified subject is the code itself. And the code of the subject matter today is the assemblies. And the primary purpose of the assembly is to make laws for the betterment of the society. By that, I will start by saying I have about 3 bills, which as I propose, if I'm elected to represent the good people of Ukwuani. We all know the most important bill is the appropriation bill. That's the crux of the issue. Who gets what, how, and when. We are going to look copiously into the appropriation to see that what is due to Ukwuani is embedded in the appropriation bill and must equally be implemented to the letter. 2, we understand that we come from an environment that is so rich in natural resources, hydrocarbon. And we all know today that the largest gas plant is located in Ukwuani. We, from the recent proposal for the National Assembly, that all states should generate their electricity, my first bill is to propose a bill that will set up an independent power plant that will generate electricity for the host of the communities in the Ukwuani nation. And that I will move to be cited in Ukwuani because it's closer to the raw materials. Another perennial problem in Ukwuani is flooding. We are going to look through the budget, and I will propose a bill for a commission to be set up in the House that will create an emergency center. I have traveled around the terrain of Ukwuani. I have seen there are some places that are upland which flood was never engulfed. We are going to see that emergency centers will be built in such areas to accommodate those that the flood will engulf during flood season as a temporary measure before we shall cry to the federal government to see if the problem of building dam or the dredging of the Niger to solve the problem permanently will be heard of. We are going to walk through all the ministries. The method of appropriation starts from the ministries. From our experience, we are going to liaise with all the ministries to see that any project that is due to Ukwuani is must be followed properly with our Ukwuani people in the various ministries. That is collaboration. We are going to collaborate. As an expert in negotiation and arbitration, I am going to see that we lobby through my co-members in the House, because the business is bad lobbying, not bribery, please. Don't quote me wrong. Lobbying, constructive lobbying, and constructive engagement of all legislative members to see that all projects that is due to Ukwuani nation will be in the project, to see that all being implemented. We equally are going to see that we are going to do the bridge across the entire nation, collaborating with anybody who emerge as an assembly member in Ukwuani West, Ukwuani, so that we can synergize. So see the common development of our entire local government. I understand we have 3 local governments from Ukwuani nation. And the diversity of the local government shall be seen by constructive collaboration with all the members if we are elected to see we have a common voice to agitate for the development of our local government. On that note, I want to say thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, even though I got to know about this program this morning. I will participate.
I am Charles Chukwuani. I represent Ndokwa West presently, the Delta State House of Assembly, and I'm seeking for a second term, which I've tagged consolidation. I'm well schooled, primary to university, 2 universities. I am a teacher by training. I hail from Abbey in Ndokwa West local government area. I've been around government for some time, but the last 3.5 years has been the first time I've been elected to represent Ndokwa West people. But for lack of time, I would have reeled out a few things we've done in the past. But I'm sure they are well captured, particularly as member for House of Assembly, so they are well captured in the document I've submitted. Why do we say consolidation? It is because when you start a job, you need to finish it. In my 3.5 years, we lost 2+ to the COVID pandemic. I'm sure we're all aware. But if you check the records I've given, you'll discover that the pandemic never deterred us from doing the things we did for our people. Presently, I chair the House Committee on Education. It is the biggest committee in the House. As a first termer, simply because I know the grounds. That's why I can chair such a committee. I also belong to 8 other committees in the House, and I'm deputy chairman of the House Committee on Public Relations. I have said it often in 1 or 2 fora that if you have seen any first termer in the House who has done more than me, I give him 1 million naira. I say so because I know the terrain and I know it very well. The easiest thing to do as a politician in a bit of courageous is to make promises. It is only God that can make a promise and bring it to fruition. When we were coming in 2019, we said a lot of things. By October 2019, COVID came. One of the things I promised I was going to do was to do a town hall meeting within the first year. I could not, because there was ban on people gathering and people mobilizing. But I want to say that in going forward, I've laid emphasis on education because the quickest way to cure poverty, want, lack, and deprivation is education. And in the past 2.5, 3 years, we've done a lot in that regard, and we will do more. I've been part of 4 bills in the House, signed into law, and part of 10 more in the works, even as we speak. One of such bills that the House, where I am member, I'm a member of the House Committee on Special Bills. What it means is that every bill passed in the House of Assembly must pass through that committee. So I see every bill that has been passed. One of the most critical ones that we've passed is the one on local content, where we have said or recommended, so to say, because it's the executive that will implement, that where you have oil companies, as in Ukwuani, the oil companies should do a lot of things for the people. And going forward, one sore point that I've seen is the issue of tertiary institution in Ndokwa land. First, let me correct the impression. We have a campus of the School of Marine Technology here in KWALE. It is a diploma awarding institution. Most of our children have graduated from that school. What I've done as chairman of the Commission on Education is to move that school from the Ministry of Transport to within the purview of the Ministry of Higher Education for more visibility and attention. Everything I've done in government has been with the people. Every project I have listed, the people came and said this is what they wanted and went to do. I will give you 2 examples. We built a brand new examination hall in Mixed Secondary School in Babu, because the community came to make the request. We renovated a science lab in Abbey Grammar School, because the old boys of the school came to make the request. And that's how we worked. I'm hoping that
all protocols duly observed, please. F1 will choose Onyemuru. I'm a chartered accountant for 23 years now, and a fellow for 10 years. I'm a chartered tax practitioner, have an MBA and HND. I intend to deliver a community-based representation for the development, progress, peace, and security of Ukwuani West. Leveraging on my training, experience, and passion for service, Ukwuani West shall be served as one big family to promote synergy, unity, and cooperation among member communities. And I will explain. I have a flagship initiative, and that is to constitute what I call Community Representative Council. I'll be meeting with them every 6 months. And intention is that they will be the one to indicate what each community requires for us to insert into the budget. And we'll be meeting regularly every 6 months, as I said. And I've done something like that at Otabono. The document I'm holding here is Vision 2030 for Otabono. As the secretary of the committee that prepared this, within 3 months we got it out, even during COVID. We didn't meet physically, we had online meetings. And so this is what I want to say to every community. And this has already generated development in Otabono. We're already implementing it. So that is my flagship initiative that I want to do. So that even that committee will help even in inter and intra-community peace and security. Because by the time we're meeting, if there's going to be any signal of crisis, it will be picked up and nipped in the bud. Like I said, nobody wants to be considered one family. How will I do that? I will deploy my people management and negotiation skills to collaborate and consult with colleagues and other arms of government to get approvals for projects. I will utilize my professional accounting training and other skills, especially in budgeting process, to ensure that we get enough for our development. And this initiative of Community Representative Council will give us value for money, because once budget is approved and project is given, I will request that each community provides the contractor. Therefore, the communities will be the ones supervising the contractor, and I'll move on to other things. How equipped am I for this job? I'm intellectually prepared. I'm a multiple award winner at primary, secondary, and higher institution level. I actually graduated as the best overall student at the Federal Polytechnic at Ekiti with 5 prizes. I have worked with other organizations, but I've been running my own business for 10 years now, employing people as a consultant, a tax consultant. I'm actually a consultant to the state government for regional tax. And I've used it to train our people and give them full employment. Novel initiatives. Like I said, I'll be having town hall meetings. I will support every community to prepare something like this for themselves. A functional constituency office shall be established where it can be accessible. What have I been doing with my life? Even as a private practitioner, I have built culverts. I have funded, in 2019, 7 of our children enrolled at College of Education to read Ukwuani language. They were at the verge of losing that admission. I funded their matriculation, 7 of them. They graduated last year. And as we speak, I don't know any of them. I have not met them. I just felt that because I lived a life of lack, I knew that they were lacking. That was why I from them. Thank you very much.
Hello. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Prince Emeko Samuta. I am from Akara, to be precise. I went to school, primary, secondary, and I attended University of Education, Winneba, Ghana, where I studied business administration, majoring in public relations. And I am the candidate for PDP for Delta State House of Assembly. Going into Delta State House of Assembly, my focus will be on health, education, sustainable empowerment, and infrastructural development. When you go to Ndokwa East, you will agree with me that in the area of education, we are seriously lagging behind. Our schools are in a sorry state, not because the state government doesn't have the willingness to attend to those schools, but because for a while now we've lacked the voice, somebody who will speak for us, to represent us at the State House of Assembly. Then you go through to the health sector. In fact, from so many years now, right from when I was born, there is no health center in my community. And some of these problems are not peculiar to Akara alone. You go down to Uchi, Onoboko, Iyede. You can hardly find any health center to attend to our kids, our women, even our pregnant women. Giving birth is a problem. It's only God that is coming to our rescue. Then one of our major problems in Ndokwa is road network. And yes, I agree that as a lawmaker, there's little you can do to attract the kind of road that will serve the Ndokwa East people. But we are trying, me as a candidate, I am trying to build synergy, to build relationship with the executive and lobby my fellow House members to help us, because our roads are in a state of emergency. So those are the things I will be focusing on going into Delta State House of Assembly. And more importantly, the educational sector. Our kids who are willing to go to school, we are going to set up a scholarship system for them and support them to be able to attain their goals. Then, we will also liaise with the executive arm of the government to look into some of our communities that needs shoreline protection. I know it's a huge project, but by the special grace of God, we surmount them. Then this recent flood, the flooding of Ndokwa East and some of our communities is a recent event, and by the special grace of God, when we gain power at the center, some of these problems will be a thing of the past. Thank you.
The Ukwuani, my president, the one, is permit me to stand on the existing protocol. Fambo, comrade, Tony, Amechi, Ndane, Mbonyonya, Ejegom School. I graduated at Eboma. But today, I signed charge of the medical office there. Now, I'm the candidate of APC for the House of Assembly election in Ndokwa East. And I was pushed to the race because of the nature of our people and our place. Ndokwa East, no need to say, is the most backward local government in the whole of this country. Everywhere in Ndokwa East needs road, not even one single road. And the only way we can achieve that is by partnering with the communities and with organizations like NNU and other people. These are some of the ways we can do it. Then, in terms of education, in most of the communities in Ndokwa East, you have only one teacher. The entire line, like Onya, you have one teacher in the school. What I'm trying to say is that this government and the previous government have not looked into Ndokwa East at all. And it should be worrisome, very, very worrisome to our people. Our people have been so calm. We cannot keep on being calm. The place is suffering. We went to Abala, Osubili, and the other. It took us about 6 hours. No road at all in Ndokwa. The only reason why I moved is because I was one of the few people that founded Ndokwa District Association, and I led the organization for 6 years. And what we have been preaching is neglect and marginalization of Ndokwa East. And how do we do that without political will? That is the reason why I opted to run for the race. I did it before with Right Honorable Olisimego. It was not successful. But this time, we are also into the race. And we believe by the grace of God, we will achieve that. What I'm trying to tell our people, the new story is that our people are completely underdeveloped. We are not getting enough from the government, and our people are so happy because people are getting money here and there. It's time to change the narrative. We must stand as Ndokwa people, not as just politicians. The people who will fight for Ndokwa survival. We need to save our land. It's a very, if we keep on speaking English on this issue of manifesto, no. We went to Abuja because of Ndokwa University. We went to Abuja for Ndokwa University. And I was so disappointed that NNU, which is supposed to be the Oblak, was not there at Abuja. They also went to include our people in amnesty. We were also disappointed that NNU people were there. But I'm so surprised to start today. NNU has called all the candidates, and we are here today. I want to tell you I respect the leadership of NNU because I was also part of the formation of NNU. I will be loyal to NNU if elected a member. I will be loyal. But above all, let us do the right thing. We need to do the right thing. We need to save Ndokwa. We are the most marginalized people. Look at Medical Bridge, abandoned, and they started another one at Asaba. Yet it is still good government. I keep 100% with Omwa Agege Edge agenda. And I believe that Omwa Agege agenda will give us employment and every other thing will work. This is all I have for Ndokwa. It's sure.
Thank you. Dr. Kenebono, my preaching, all other was fully observed. My manifesto is, tell us who you are, why you are here, and then, yeah. My name is Oyemike Valentine Noma. I went through primary school, secondary school, and university. By training, I am an economist and a banker with about 30 years work experience. I came out to see how we can bring progress to our people, the people of the Global West. And my manifesto is going to be Progress 2023. Number one, adequate representation. I did a bit research on the legislators across the country. That is the performance among them. What were their secrets of performance? And I realized that what they did, they had what they call team spirit, teamwork, alongside with the executive arm of government. And they had perfect working relationship with all the ministries, parastatals, and agents. If you don't have this as a legislator, you are going to have an issue because the civil servant creates a serious bottleneck for the execution of most of the projects in your constituency. Now, I am telling you, if voted in 2023, I'm going to have a perfect working relationship with all the ministries, parastatals, and agents in Delta State. Number two, lobbying and collaboration. That is one of the major functions of the legislature. We are not in the executive arm of government, we don't control the resources. Ours is to lobby and all that. I think the most important thing, for instance, when I was in the banking sector, when you are in your monthly MPR, what the MP and the executive management wants to know is results. So I'm going in there to bring the law for the people of the Global West. How I do it is immaterial. But the most important thing is to lobby and bring projects for the people of the Global West. Number 3, we have employment, empowerment, and education. It was actually a sorry state. Practically, we've gone to most of the interior Utakuna villages in Ndokwa West. And at some point in time, I started there weeping and crying because the basic thing, no health center, no water, they all drink from the street and all that. We are going to, how much? Now, as a legislator, we are going to, I personally am going to have 3 forms of development activity. Number 1, you have the constitutional budgeting budget for the House member, which we are going to use judiciously. Number 2, we are going to lobby from the state government to bring projects to my constituency. And number 3, which many of them don't do, from my personal income, because when you are going, that's why we must encourage people. You are going there to represent yourself, you must have a source of income. That is one of the fundamental problems of every politician. You don't have a source of income. You have never seen 1 million naira, and you want to go and have access to 1 billion naira. What will you do? Just grab it. So thirdly, I'm going to use from my personal income. That's going to be the third form of development I'm going to, which I've already started. We already have an ICT center. We have trained over 100 persons, and I'm going to scale it. But what we are doing at the moment is basic computer application. And if voted in, I'm going to scale it to the second level, which is specialized IT training, which if acquired, most of the youths, which will reduce the crime rate, are all going to be independent in terms of generating income for themselves. Finally, I want to use this opportunity to inform us that if given the opportunity, I will immediately Valentine will not disappoint the people of Ukwuani.
Mr. Chairman, the PG of Protocol observes, ladies and gentlemen, my names are Chief Ejike Meashewe from Ndokwa West, on the Ukwuani precisely. I want to use this opportunity to canvass myself, telling you people that if opportunity is given to me, Ukwuani has so many things. Like some days when you are going to Ukwuani Road, Udabono, Asaba Road, you see all these cattle areas, they are there disturbing people. When you stop them, ask them why are these people disturbing, they will say they have paid to the chiefs. And because they have paid to the chief, they want the cattle to cause accident. The last, when I went to recently the other day, I saw the people using all this new currency. Even myself, I do not have new currency. But they are using new currency. How come do you have new currency? They say they're going to do rally. Meaning the political parties, they have held the new currency to come and campaign, to come and do election. Why we have not received the new money? See today, now, if you are given the opportunity to say this, you see the last sensation, you will find out that there's nothing in this Global West. We have leaders all over the places in Global West here. We have the chiefs, we have the operas, we have the generally, but nothing has been put in place in the Global West. That was our pains to come and contest this election. You will find out that all the leaders, they kept quiet. They did not want to see anything wrong. Only thing you see in each of the local community of the community is what our Azuka Zaga, who was formerly with DPP, done. He has structures all over places. That can tell you the good things other political parties have been able to do. But today in this dispensation, there's nothing on place. Instead, you know, they say political and politicals. They say political. What stopped them from seeing across the river there? Just 2 poles to brought a light to KWALE. KWALE, there's no light. We don't have light. There's no good roads in KWALE. Other places, even like Oguma there, there's no road. So all the photos, we have leaders representing us in forest.
to some of the existing protocol. Nevertheless, I would like to express my appreciation to the leadership of NNU for the initiative of organizing the Epoca event. I salute you and I'm grateful to be invited. I will not take it for granted. Thank you very much. My name is Omolu Eze Anthony. I am contesting for House of Assembly under APGA, APGA. I'm going to represent my people in Ukwuani constituency. I hold a bachelor's degree in political science from the University of Uyo and a master's degree from the same discipline in the University of Lagos. I've been contesting for this position for a while now, and my decision to do so is a function of the deprivation and marginalization of my people. Every time I come to Ukwuani and when I live within the neighborhood, I see that my people are suffering so much deprivation. You can see poverty, almost all people in the communities of Ukwuani. And I think to be able to address this anomaly, we must seek a political office. Political office can strengthen economic productivity and progress in any society. First of all, I have a major plan of my leadership in the House. As a legislator, we are essentially lawmakers, even though we also do oversight function. I'm going to sponsor bills on 3 cardinal issues that challenge to my community. First of all, I want to address unemployment and youth restiveness. I also want to address poor education and insecurity. Those are the 3 things I really want to look at in Ukwuani. Now, people are so deprived, so poor, and their major occupation is agriculture. They do agrarian farming. But in recent times, despite the fact that we don't have industries or businesses that are productive in Ukwuani, our people resort to farming alone. The only farming is self-subsistence farming. But recently, they have been deprived the right of even going to their farms. It's so painful that a community that depends solely on agriculture cannot access their farms. So the first thing I would like to do is to sponsor a bill to secure our farmlands. Another thing I also want to do, I'm aware that there is an existence of a law, a parliamentary act, that is the open grazing laws in Delta State. But it has not been enforced. Nobody is enforcing it. One thing is to make laws, another thing is to enforce it. I'm going to ensure that we enforce this open grazing. You know, people go to farm and the next minute they are back crying that our women are being raped, old men are being beaten, battered in their own farms. So I'm going to sponsor a bill and ensure that our farmlands are secured in Ukwuani and in Delta State. I'm going to also ensure that, because I know, well, as a youth, I know that there is a special security outfit that guards the farm communities. They call them adaptive forest guard or rangers. I'm going to strengthen that organization. I'm going to propose a bill to strengthen that security outfit. I'm going to provide for them effective weaponry to be able to police our farms and our forests for easy access by our people. Secondly, I'm also looking at education. Our children are you see children roaming on the street with dreadlocks everywhere. They call themselves Yahoo. And people don't go to school anymore. There's no incentive for education in our communities. I'm going to ensure that the education system is strengthened. We're going to monitor public institutions, public government institutions. Because you see, even parents that are suffering, they raise their money and everything to take their children to public school. Thank you. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Welcome. If I'm elected, I'm going to change the narrative of our people in Ukwuani. Thank you very much.
Next, please. The name, please be precise. Okay. We don't have a lot of time.
All protocols duly observed. I found Honorable Pride Asukosai. I have my first degree in political science and public administration, University of Benin. I have my master in educational Educational Management, University of Benin. By God's grace, I'm a PhD student in Educational Administration, University of Benin. As you can see, I'm one of the youngest candidates that are seeking for this position. I can assure you that even when some of my humble colleagues are making mention of this, they have tried. If elected, because leadership demands accountability and authoritative allocation of values. I have two agendas, a big that I will sponsor if elected by my people. And I am the candidate of the Young Progressive Party. First, I'm going to look at autonomy of our local communities. I'm going to sponsor a bill that will facilitate the creation of local autonomy, because you can see in different parts of Ndokwa West, you see crisis. You see, you are here from Ukwuani, Babu, fighting each other, and there is no traditional rulers, if I'm not mistaken. We only have majority that of Palace. So by the time we create these autonomous communities, all these people will be entitled to have their own king, and this will facilitate and attract progress to our people. So it's going to be a form of, for example, let me just tell you a story. In Umusam is a notable donor. They have crisis. Umusam used to donate yam to HM. Every year they want to engage in farming activity. They must donate yam to business maker. And our people that are in House of Assembly, they are looking at this thing, they are becoming slaves to their own country. So it's an abuse and aberration. So if elected, I will sponsor a bill that will give freedom to all the local communities, and those of them that are ready to have. Another one is education. If knowledge is the features of human, then our people need to be highly educated. So if elected, I'm going to engage our youth, empower them in ICT, so that they can transform that the same skill they use in Yahoo in technology. Because if we leave them that way, the society crime will also increase, and that's going to be, it's not going to be encouraging. So I also sponsor our young people. As you can see, most of our people, no one is playing in Super Eagles. Our young people, all of them after playing, watching Premier League, Liverpool, Chelsea, their talent die in the local villages. So if elected, I'm going to sponsor our young people to European nation where they can have their talent exposed to the society around. And this can only be achieved if people like IT will never endorse me today, and all the candidates that I am the right person, and I can assure you I am the only one that can deliver to this mandate. Is
Let me very respectfully adopt the protocol as already laid down. My name is Comrade David Ochonogo. I studied computer engineering at the University of Benin, and I'm an IT consultant by training. I am the APC candidate for the 2023 House of Assembly, hoping to represent Ukwuani in Delta State House of Assembly. I had to take the last minute decision to attend this very important ceremony against my initial decision to suspend all public activities in honor of my beloved friends, brother, and security aide who lost his life a few days ago. It was a very painful thing to recall how he died. As at 9 p.m. that day, I took him to the hospital, and it turned out that the hospital in my community didn't have the facilities to save his life. The doctor transferred him from Umutu to a specialist hospital in Asaba. It also turned out that the specialist hospital didn't have the facility to save a man from common high blood pressure. By the time we ended up in FMC, it was already too late, and that we lost that precious life. May his soul rest in perfect peace. The functions of a legislator under our law is simply to make laws and carry out oversight functions. When I become a member of House of Assembly to represent Ukwuani, I will do those things, but there is the third responsibility that is very, very important to us. The responsibility of showing political leadership to our people. Briefly, as a lawmaker, there are 3 very urgent laws that I would like to initiate as soon as I get to House of Assembly. The first one is the law that will protect our women. Today, when our women lost their husbands, there are many crises, quarrels, and disputes over who is entitled to the common properties, the common achievements of the family. When I get to the House of Assembly, I will make a law that will make it compulsory for a woman and the children to be the next of kin to their father and the husband. The second law is that if you go all through our roads are bad, but you find out that if all the roads that have been built by our governments are able to stay up to 10 years, we may not be having the problem of road infrastructures in Delta State as it is today. The second law I will make is to give locus to anybody that is a user of those roads to be able to go to court to seek redress if any contractor carry out a project that did not last to specification. The third and the third law I will initiate is a law that will create a place for our community and our leadership like NNU. Our leadership at the community level should have a place in our government whereby whatever they say.
Thank you.
My name is Onyeka Chukwumbebeladiku. I'm the ADC candidate for Delta State House of Assembly, Ndukwa's constituency. By the grace of God, the first woman that will be able
Well, for the fact that I'm based here, I think I know most of our problems. And one of it is electricity, which has become a very big problem in the local west. Like as I said earlier, I will do whatever I can to try to link back Ndokwa West to the national grid. But while that is coming up, let me not just say that, because we have a team, we'll have an alternative means that we will use while we are working on the linking the Ndokwa West back to national grid. We'll have alternative means for it. It's a plan that we have done.
Members, those aspiring for Jacob Assembly. The questions will start from ABC, am I correct? In the course of while you were making your... Okay, sorry.
This is the next person.
Don't worry, what we want to do is to take the questions across. That's what I think you ask to don't worry. Am I correct? While you were talking of community review council, you mentioned that you are going to organize community review council. You are a legislator, and the purpose of legislature is to make law. How do you now go about your legislative work and issue of community review council?
Thank you.
Just go on first, we'll come back.
Thank you, sir. The purpose of that council is for the budgetary process. For me to get input from communities into the budgetary process. I won't sit down in Asaba and know what Abi or the other communities need. That's the essence. And therefore, that regular meeting will be to have the opportunity to update them on what we are going to be putting in the budget. However, even as a legislator, I'm not going to limit myself to, I'm going to seek opportunities at every point in time to improve my community. And I'll give you an example. If by the grace of God I'm elected to represent the Far West, I will not wait for inauguration before I start working. Because there is something that is very important coming up. The national census is coming up between 29th March and 1st of April. And inauguration is in May. So as part of my thank you visit, I'm going to sensitize our people. Because the last census was done 17 years ago. We don't know when the next one will come. If we miss this opportunity, we may miss it almost forever. So those are opportunities I will seek wherever they occur. I just gave you an example.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Don't worry. More will come. Now, before we get to you, Osamuta, I want to ask the man who will get to you. But he made mention as soon outside. Am I correct? So you are going to involve in irrigation. You are a legislator to me. What is the link between the issue of irrigation and the legislative duty that is developed in the province?
Thank you, sir. I'm out to represent my people. And the people there are mainly farmers. How then can I be of help to them? That is the essence of the irrigation. And go back to my community. Recently, they started tomato farming. You can imagine an average human in my community harvests every acre, makes 16,000 naira from tomato just for the rainy season. If irrigation is introduced, that woman will be making this 16,000 almost all through the time. So how I'm going to do it, areas where there is stream, we will organize a machine that will supply water to the crops.
It's a question from Chief. There is a question I'm very vital for. Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. This is a member of the House. And the member from the audience have asked a question. One is Chief Odike of Ukwuani. You said that you have been in the house, you said you were a member of a special committee that anytime there's any bill, you must pass through while you are there. There were bills to build for campuses, for universities. It passed through your table, and that you didn't do anything for the hours. Two, you have also asked that you mentioned Delta State School of Marine Technology, that you took it from transport to Ministry of Education. What has been your contribution to the development of that Delta State School of Marine Technology that has been exceptional since 2013? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let me start from the last question. That I've been able to move it to within the purview of the Ministry of Higher Education is a massive achievement. And in due course, you will see how that is. Remember, I am a legislator, not an executive. So when you ask about contributions, the policy that moved it from where it was dormant to where it is now is a product of the legislature, which I represent. The first question, if I'm not doing anything, that is not exactly true. For those who have met me privately and have talked to, I never needed to do a public hearing for those 3 upgraded schools. They were upgraded. They were not newly established. The question you should ask, what is there in Ndokwa to be upgraded? Earlier, I mentioned bad politics. Maybe I should expand on that. In 1979, Ndokwa had 4 legislators in the Bendel State House of Assembly. It was clear to everybody that as far as Awolowo was running in the West, they would win Midwest or Bendel. It was only Ndokwa people that didn't believe that. And we voted NP and NPP largely. That was the same time that politics was bitter, if you remember. I'm from Abbey. The deputy speaker in that assembly, please you give me time to explain this. Assembly was from Ozoro Chief Okozo. And Okozo brought the College of Agri to Ozoro. That college became a polytechnic and is now a university. The Edosians and the Okonjos, they took a College of Agri to Amai. It is now a university. They took a polytechnic to Obashuku. It is now a polytechnic. And then the Eka people through the wearables got a College of Education. Ndokwa didn't get because we didn't vote for them. That was the period where if you not vote for me, I don't know you. And it was very glaring. Abi borders Orogun, the deputy governor. Let me explain this. Please. This has to be explained. This has to be explained. The deputy governor. Hello. The deputy governor to Ambusali was from Orogun. It passed the road of Orogun to Abi and cut it off because Abi was NPP. It was a lot of bad politics. We didn't vote right. We voted and went there as minority. Chief Ojoro also was minority whip in that legislation. That is the reason why you don't go. Now, I did. Thank you. No, please. This is. No, please. Thank you. A message, a memo, a text, a call over this issue of higher institution. All other tribes were there. It was
as a lawmaker, I will strengthen them. I will strengthen them and work directly with our Royal Highnesses and our Palukus, who are the custodian of our traditions and all that. So work with relevant authorities, especially with our police and other conventional security outfits. Thank you.
Thank you. This also is for everyone, anyone who wants to answer. What is your view? What are you going to do at traditional room? And what plans do you have for them in bills for the traditional ruler to recognize? Yes.
For our traditional rulers, what I was trying to allow me to say is that one of the things I will do is to create a constitutional place for our local leadership, for them to have a say in governance. So as a lawmaker, we will be able to enact a law that will provide a place for our traditional rulers and our town unions like NNU. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. One last question. I believe that as we all are here, we have different parties. Have Ndokwa West, we have Ukwuani. Now, is it possible? That's the last question. Is it possible for you all to work together, irrespective of party, for the betterment of the Ndokwa land? That is the question. It doesn't matter for Ndokwa to have a common voice when you get to the House of Assembly.
Take the question.
We have not progressed because we have been playing the politics of bitterness. It doesn't matter the political party. It doesn't matter who. If the real goal is about the people and the development of the people, then you don't have to care who comes on board. And I think whether it is from the Senate to House of Assembly to Rep, whoever it is, there must be a collaboration to have real development. Because what I cannot do at the State House of Assembly, if I go to the Rep and the Rep goes to the Senate and the change continues to presidency, it will trickle down to the local government.
education. It's very clear. But you can also make it happen if you are a representative that have the ability to lobby. I'll give you a very quick example because of time factor. In that case, the cushion money nation one could be say. That's for those that do not understand that are watching us. A festival that is successful starts from the breaking of firewood. When I was in the Sopadek, I had the act of lobbying. Ndopa was endangered. We had just 9%, which meant that I had just 4% for parts of Ndopa West and Ukwuani, and my colleague had 5%. Okume Grammar School, that 3 blocks of classrooms were reconstructed by me, was actually the money that was allocated to Princess Ajunwa, 92 million. She couldn't put it in Ipuzo because Ipuzo is not part of the oil producing area. That was how I was able to do 90 projects. In fact, they have found out that I did over 100 projects when I represented you in the Sopadek. It is that act of representation that is going to make me able to review the petroleum in PIA, no more PIB, Industry Act. Why it's very important is that the host communities are being shortchanged. I was moved yesterday when I met with the host communities and I saw buses that we provided. In 2014, we bought a bus from Ukwuani Union. Sorry, we did buy a bus from Ukwuani Union. That was facilitated by me. I met in Ukwuani Nation Hostcom. We bought a bus from Ukwuani West Hostcom. We bought a bus for Ukwuani Hostcom. And they were all looking very old and tattered. They had not been replaced. It shows you that government has also been stagnant. Because the importance, now we see the importance of NNU. Thank you to my President General. I can't believe the amount of candidates that are here. UP is going to agree with envy when they see what has happened here today. I think we should give him a round of applause. You know that is taking from. You didn't clap for him. I didn't hear that. Because he has made us here today to speak. Yes, this might not affect the result of the elections. But what is important is that Unopa is now going to see that we have an umbrella body that we are trained so much to respect that we are all seated here today. The majority of us that are candidates. This has never happened in the history of Unopa Nation. Am I right or wrong? Now, in legislative representation, one of the key things you must understand is that you have ministries, departments, and agencies that you must lobby to make things happen in Unopa. You must act as an oversight. You must not sit down to wait until your constituency project is approved for you and you use it. That can never make you make an impact. You must go beyond your constituency project to be able to lobby for constituency development projects from other zones, just like the examples that I have just given. That is exactly what is going to make you succeed as a legislature. Otherwise, you will be a bench warmer. Oversight functions will enable you to streamline ministries and government departments to impact on those who are Ukwuani and Ndopa. My people of Ndopa East are suffering so much from flood. We need to dredge River Niger. We need to use ecological funds to dredge River Niger, fill it up to 1,000 meters to enable the shoreline of Opai and about to be protected. In 2004, we stopped Buhari Obasanjo from coming to commission the IPP project. I was one of those that championed that cause. And I would even say to you, my brother is my opponent today, or I would pay a full page for that cause. And I remember very well that till today we have not talked about the second phase of that IPP project. Undopa is lacking so much because I never know the canning. I am not proud. We need somebody that can go there and sit down and make things come. And not somebody that can go there without any experience, without any. You know my take on the media. I'll use that as a very huge advantage. Thank you very much.
I would like to stand on the existing protocol. One of the things I want to say here is that I'm called to serve as a servant. Why do I say this? As far back as 1984, I have been interfacing with the whole Ndokwa nation, whether women, youth, and the politicians. In 1999, when I was supposed to come out, I called my junior brothers outside to go for the election with the team that are going to work for the nation. But I want to say here that I have not seen any In that 4 years, I devoted my personal money to fund NNU. I interfaced with the traditional rulers to visit various government agencies, including NDDC, NSC, and etc., etc. And I made projects that can be checked and cross-checked and confirmed. We submitted projects to NDDC, DOSUPADEC, and other relevant government agencies. I am a consultant with federal government agencies. It will astonish you to know that in 2022, I produced a new revenue allocation for the federal government of Nigeria, which is the goal. I'm a consultant to Ministry of Finance. I'm an FDI. Some of the products you are using here in Nigeria are produced by my farm. As a test case, the governor's son thought the abandoned market in Kwale cannot be done. They asked me to do it. I did not collect mobilization, and I put that edifice without. If you look at what the government gave, the 90% of what I've done there was not captured in the bill of quantity, because they believe that Ndokwa Nation can take anything. I stand here to tell you that I've come to work for Ndokwa Nation. But first and foremost, I'm going to Abuja as a lawmaker that understands the business. First, we make laws. Second, we sit on appropriation bill. The most important function in the National Assembly is the appropriation bill. Before the appropriation bill is presented, I want to interface with all the government agencies to show that interest of Ndokwa Nation and that of Delta State and that of Nigeria is upheld high. Why do I say this? Nigeria is the only country that has the best resources in the world and refuse to develop. Our oil and gas is the catalyst. Gas is the one that is mentioned in the Russian economy. I have not come here to tell you what I can do and what I cannot do, but I've come here to tell you that I understand the business of governance. And my social contract with the local people is very simple. One, accountability, economic and social transformation, and thirdly, empowerment and employment. In my course as a practicing chartered accountant, I was happy that Choose Onyemuru here is coming to stand. Is one of my products. The chairman of the Financial Reporting Council today is one of my products. Past president of ICANN has been produced in my farm. And one of the farms that are practicing as chartered accountant in Nigeria, that Vanguard recognized in 1992 as one of Delta driving the economic activities of Nigeria. I'm a private sector man. I have written reports on car industry. I've written report on power plant. I was the former auditor in charge of National Electric Power Authority. I am the consultant in charge of the National University Office in Washington, Ottawa, and all over the world.
With the special grace of God that it has been, the crow of the cock heralds the dawn of a new day. I have come to present myself for service, to run to the Federal House of Reps under the umbrella of ABGA.
And the emergence of Africa in Indo-Pak politics is the game changer. No one can fight like a wounded lion because the lion knows where he's pitching him. I come from Undo-Sumili-land, a place that is facing an existential problem, a place that is most neglected. I come from Undo-Kwa-land, where we have been so treated like conquered people. In the polity of Delta State, go and take the statistics. You will find out that when it comes to infrastructural development, we are least. When it comes to political appointment, we are least. But I'm happy for the leadership of NNU today, who has deemed it fit to put this thing together. It has shown that never again will anybody, either by omission or by connivance, has put Undo-Kwa people in the poor state that we are today, in the micro concept of Delta politics, will come up to present themselves for service. That as your legislator representing you in the lower chamber, first I want to ask some question. Why would they go and see our land to Presco without the input of the owners of the land in Ukwuani? Ukwuani nation is agrarian and we are rich and we are agriculture. We are very good in agriculture. Why would that be done? We need an answer to that. Of course, I will use the instrumentality in the National Assembly to ask this question, find an answer to this question, and put an end to it. I come down here. All of us are aware that the Indians are here exploiting our God-given assets. We are rich, we have it, but you are scavenging. You get to the quarter there, you have unskilled laborers, and they are all doing the job there, while our children, our daughters are roaming the street jobless. I will use my position as a national legislator, not at the door of the director of the immigration, and find out why such mess should be going on in Indo-Kwa-land and our people are jobless. That's how we do it. And of course, like I said, the Indo-Kwa is where I come from. That is one of the inducing factors why I had to put out myself for this service. The Indo-Kwa is where I come from are facing existential problem, existential challenge. Some of them are caused by climate change-induced problems, and some of them are the recent flood. My brothers, there are many agencies that have been put in place. The NNU is there, and of course the Desopadec is there. I'll be able to use my position to determine who gets what and where it goes to. We are sitting on the highest deposit of gas. We have the largest gas plant here. Undo-Kwa
my manifestos are very clear. I am not going to the National Assembly to speak the highest English without doing nothing for my people. It is our people that is our problem. And I know very sure that I'm going to the National Assembly to also make laws that will affect the lives of my people. I came from a very poor background. I'm from Ukwuani. And I know a lot of our sufferings for many years. First of all, I want to tell us that even everything we say today, we should check our antecedents. Antecedents is important. Because I know if I stand here to tell you that only now the section will do it, I'm telling us lie. And I'm not ready to tell lie. Like I said, we know the antecedents of everybody, even at the communal level, at the local level, at the state level. And I know the God of Paul and Silas, that God will electrify the nation. Thank you, thank you, because I know. Even the youth will deploy it. Because I know the more I do, the more the world get better. And for the world to get better, it's our collective effort. Thank you and God bless you.
If you don't allow the youth to go into the look at the energy foundation, no higher institution, even from the secondary level. We don't have it. Why? And we try as much as possible to attract at least one higher institution for the foundation. And we also try as much as possible to empower the youth, to bring the youth out from the streets, to make the youth understand that they are included in governance. And when it comes to constituency projects, I am going to make sure I constitute 6-man committee from each of the LGAs that will seek to design the development project. It's the end of that session. Now we're moving into the nitty-gritty of the reason we're here. Now we're starting with the first come from NNU second vice president, Gostos, Ajajere. National Assembly, lower chambers. Any bill coming from the executive approved by the National Assembly. Recently, the NDDC board was constituted, and we were hopeful that at least Ukwuani we have. Unfortunately, the chairmanship went to. It's not in another community. If you are elected, what will you do to ensure that this type of situation will not meet? Thank you.
Who are you directing the question to, sir?
Well, thanks for that question. It's straight and direct. The board has been constituted and that board has a life. Certainly that board will stay about 4 or 5 years. Within which, that means that within our life at the National Assembly, there won't be occasion for another board to be elected. But as a National Assembly member, the moment I'm sworn in, the first thing that I'll take upon myself is to lobby to be either chairman of oil and gas or chairman of the House Committee on NNU. Because that way, I know that the NNU budget that will be forwarded to the National Assembly will then the board will pass on my table. And then I will be seen or improve those projects that I know will be benefiting the nation. Thank you very much.
We have a question here that says, during this campaign, what clans have you visited personally? And then when you did visit, what did you observe were their needs? And what can you do to help them?
Thank you. First and foremost, I appreciate the question you've raised. Why is it so important? If you don't visit your people, you will not see their immediate needs. As a candidate, as the PG, former PG of Global Nation, I visited 32 communities, sat with the Obanku of each of these communities. As I'm campaigning, I went to one of the roughest terrain, Uchi. I visited Uchi. I drove from KWALE to Obai, from Obai to Obayanese, and from Obayanese to Uchi. We have to make a wooden bridge from where we transfer from Obayanese to Uchi. From Uchi again, we went to Abalosumili. From Abalosumili, I witnessed a village that has been washed to the shore, and now they are about 5 kilometers back in another settlement. Similarly, I went to Yedame. In Yedame, you have to travel almost 2 hours there. There's no ferry to cross you. While we are there, we saw that the state government was trying to repair the barge that will ferry cars. So it takes you 30 minutes to ferry one car to the other side. They have no primary school. They have no health institution. They have no
Apologies from Honorable Ned Moko. We apologize through the apologies came through Chukwuemeka Victor. Said he will get in touch with NNU in the appropriate time, as soon as he's back. So next question.
Sorry, sir. Honorable Zechi was asking if he can react to the same question asked earlier.
Yes, he can.
I think I should be the leading candidate that have visited the majority of these communities, ranging from Ukwuani East. During the flood, I virtually visited all the affected communities along the River Niger bank. And the essence of my visit is to at least have one-on-one interactions with my people who have been ravaged. At that stage, most of them, the flood has not ravaged them. But I said, now the flood is fast approaching. Let me go to these communities and see them one-on-one. It will surprise you too, to inform this honorable house that I went with my wife to tell you how I cherish my people, because I'm from that same area. So I visited them, and I know by the special grace of God, the only thing that can stop the overflowing is dredging of River Niger. Because that dredging of that River Niger, the Niger banks has become so shallow, it does not accommodate volumes of water any longer. It does not accommodate. And it's not something one federal constituency lawmaker will do. It's something that has to be collective. Because there are other people from river Benways who are also affected with this situation. So by the time I'm elected to represent the local people, I should think and I should know that only me cannot do the work. And the only way I can do the work is to begin to see the same people that we are feeling the same thing with. So, feeling the same thing. By the time we come up together, we can do something like that. Thank you very much.
Negotiating strategies or engagements with other stakeholders do you propose to change?
Thank you very much. If you're interested, I said in my earlier presentation that as far back as 2004, which our PG Emeritus also confirmed here, we made a very strong case for the electricity project not to be commissioned at Ukwuani. Why did we make that strong case? Why did I lead the youth led by DK? That was because the Obasanjo's government was not going to step it down at Ukwuani. Even talking, how much to talk of Beneku or Abo or the environs. And so Obasanjo delayed that commissioning due to us. The youths these days, you need to step up your game. I must tell you that the time of DK was the time that we must always refer to and appreciate in the Federated Union of Ndokwa students. Now, transmitted. What is being transmitted is almost 500 megawatts, about 480 megawatts. They which did the original contract was supposed to have given by AG, was supposed to have done the second phase. What am I going to do? We are going to remove power from the exclusive legislative list. Maybe you do not understand what it means to remove power from the exclusive legislative list. When you remove power from the exclusive legislative list and take it to the concurrent list, this will enable the state government, like Governor Kowa, for example, will not be able to intervene in this kind of issue. Before now, the government cannot intervene. The government has no power to intervene. They have no power to go into power distribution or power generation. This will be the first thing we are going to do. This exclusive list has, in fact, Ukwuani nation has suffered most from this exclusive legislative list. We must go to the concurrent, remove power, get state police, and talk about real resource control for the Ndokwa people. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, sir. He said he wants to make a comment on the power plant.
Apologies, please. For Ukwuani, independent Ukwuani, the House of Assembly, he also promised to meet and reach out to Lucas. He will combine the two questions. Question and you look your take the last
You know, my questions are very strong. What do you mean? Okay, Labour Party, right? Okay. You intend to go for this National Assembly as a legislator. We have challenge of the ecology in the coalition. What kind of laws do you expect to provide to ensure that our ecosystem is protected? So I wish also to you and also to the PDP, because you will make laws that will affect our people. What kind of laws are you expected to ensure that you legislate for the purpose of the ecosystem? Thank you.
Thank you very much for that question. First of all, I want to start from the side of the power. You know that of my power plant can vary from 11 to 17 kV, which they have a step-up transformer that steps it up to 330 kV and transmitted through the national grid to Obosi, and also step down at Osogbo at 132. That is how electricity goes. But the voltage is different from the power. The voltage generated is different from the power. So, what are we talking about? The power that is generated from the of my power plant is being transmitted. Hello? So the power that is transmitted is also generated, is also transmitted. Now, this is being used by federal government. And I believe that the power plants are being installed section per section. In my power plant, the first one is 150, the second one 150, the third one is 150. So they can give us another phase of power plants. They can give us another phase that can serve the foundation. If you calculate the loads of the foundation, you will know that it's not going to be up to 100 megawatts. And each of those sections give about 150 megawatts. They can give us another head that we serve in the foundation as a whole. spreading as a whole, it's destroying the ecosystem and the ozone layer. If you check, if you are comfortable with what the ozone layer is, a little bit above the stratosphere, the ozone layer now has hole. That is why today you see any little thing you will begin to experience heat. Before in Ukwuani nation, there is what they call Aquigwe. Aquigwe is like ice. Now nobody can tell me that he or she still feels that. So we are going to make laws
finally hope to address it.
Well, like I said, that a senator has two mandates, the national mandate and the constitutional mandate. Apart from having a robust oversight function, and like I said, we raised $2.34 billion not loan. The constituent project at NNU are being utilized. We're going to have also a rule of law. You have to have responsibility and accountability. That when you are representing the people and you fail to carry the project, there must be repercussions and consequences. And that's part of the oversight function. But apart from that, let me say that as I speak in Asaba, go to the airport, we have secured from the diaspora, again, thank you for recognizing the diaspora. We have secured from the diaspora 65 acres of land where we're going to build diaspora housing estate in Delta State, in Delta North. And part of our youth employment strategy is to train all the youth in Delta North, whether it's an electrician, whether it's a plumber, whether it's a mechanic, and deploy them after training in that diaspora village. We have done that since 2021. Our trained about 250 Delta North. So these are the strategy we are going to use to make sure that we get the Delta North system. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Flag bearers. Sir Monday Onyema.
professional bodies, including the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, the Nigerian Institute of Management, the Institute of Internal Auditors, Association of Certified Fraud Examiners, to mention just a few. I've had vast experience working career, including the private and public sector. I worked in a bank, I worked in private company, I worked in government agencies, including institutions of higher learning. The last but not the least, but as I worked, I served this state, this present government, in the capacity of executive chairman of the State Internal Revenue Service from 2015 till 2022. Well, for you to understand that somebody has capacity, he has what it takes to represent you, you need to go back to history, just like my brother Nnamdi said. Look at antecedents. So I'm going to just give you people a little brief of what I've done as a private person in the Ukwuani nation. In the field of education, I have built a library single-handedly in Mixed Secondary School of Ukwuani. I also equipped that library with at least 4,000 modern textbooks for our children to be properly guided and educated. I distributed textbooks to over 40 schools, including primary and secondary schools, across Delta State, especially in the Ukwuani nation. In KWALE here, people from Ukwuani here can barely witness at least two schools were beneficiaries of my textbooks. You go to Ukwuani, at least 2 schools were beneficiaries. You go to Utagono, you go to Abe, you go to NNU, you go to Ukwuani. There is no place that is not touched, including in the East. My friends here can hear me. All these are recording their work. Exercise books, writing materials. I also distributed over 200,000 pieces of exercise books to our pupils in primary schools and secondary school to make life and educational pursuit easier for them. On scholarship, I started a scholarship scheme in 2016. I started it in my own ward 5 from Ukwuani in Ukwuani West. But in 2019, I decided to magnify it and take it to all the nooks and crannies of the Ukwuani nation. I've run that program since 2019, covering all the wards in the 3 local governments of the Ukwuani nation. Today, I'm happy to announce that over 800 Ukwuani sons and daughters that are in higher institutions have benefited from this scholarship scheme. So that we can live a healthy life. I embarked on construction of toilets, public toilets, in so many places, just to make sure that people will not do open defecation anymore. If you go to A Division police station, Asaba, you will see one of my signature toilets. You go to Federal College of Education, Technical, you will see another one. It's all over the whole place. So far, over 20 of some toilet facilities across the Delta State. Please just give me 1 minute. Because I want people to know me so that they will take a decision. To date, I've employed over
This for funds. We are asking that as youth students, what are you going to do when you enter at for funds, for the global students, that once while they are in school, and they will hope that when you put in power, you will carry the social funds as well. That's the question of funds. And my question that I have is to Sabondo Review. There is one that you are, is it the new past chairman of Revenue Board, or still chairman, that they have in almost all the local government headquarters, they have licensing office. But you as a chairman in that position did not take steps to ensure that there is headquarters any of the licensing office being built in our local government. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. The first question about funds. Can I go ahead? Okay, the funds, the Secretary Union of Local Students, have always been in my heart from day one. Myself, having been one of them in my school days, I was also a member of that organization. And so it was because of that that I mainly embarked on the scholarship program. Because I do know that, knowing our background as Ndokwa sons and daughters, not every one of us at the higher institution have the capacity to pay their fees and upkeep. So that was why I embarked on that scholarship. And everybody who has benefited from that scholarship from the one is an Ndokwa student. When they graduate too, I still try my best in my private capacity to make sure that I place them on jobs where I can. If you go to Federal College of Education, Technical Center today, over 30 of our sons and daughters, local people, are in employment in the University of me. If you go to National University of Nigeria today, over 200 local sons and daughters are in employment in that institution, University of me. You go to Nigerian Police Force, have facilitated the employment of over 30 sons and daughters of local expansion. You go to Federal Road Safety Corps, that is the way I hire people to. You go to the civil defense, and then my farm. Today, presently, in my own private organization, over 120 persons are in my payroll, in my farm, in my small hotel, in my other small businesses. So I have to look at people at heart. Funds should not be agitated because I'm looking after them, and if given executive position, of course they know that these things will multiply over and over. I did all that I've done as a private person. If given an executive position as a deputy governor number 2, they should know that my capacity to help them will grow more than tenfold. On the issue of revenue house, yes, the revenue houses that were built by my predecessor. I do not want to tell this house, what informed the building of those revenue houses. They may not actually be because they wanted to build revenue house. There were other reasons. Now, we came on board in 2015. Throughout that period, from 2015 to 2020, we tried to put revenue board building, those who don't have modern structure, into the budget. But they were never implemented due to the tightness of government fund. Now, what I want us to take home here is when you are pursuing something that is going to benefit your people, you look at what kind of benefit that will give to the people. As far as I'm concerned, Ndokwa West, Ndokwa is Ukwuani
total road is supposed to start from Lagos area and end in Calabar.
No, sorry, sir. This is one that starts from Asaba, specific. It's for the Benel State, specific. Kuchi. And then to all that made
During our campaign talks, we went to Oko, and in the course of our campaign, I got to know that there was a road, or there is a road, that was awarded long time ago, since the first civilian government, that is, since the first tenure of the Governor James Ibori. And this road kept being re-awarded. Whether it is not funded, but when they award it, it's like when the contractors go there, they will disappear. Recently, the executive governor, the serving governor today, has revoked the last contract and he has awarded that job to Central. And I can tell you from what I've seen with my eyes, that job has started. They are going to tie it. It's a full road with necessary drainages. They have started the project. At least what I do know is that they told us that they will do the first 8 kilometers as phase 1. And that job has started here from Asaba. Thank you.
Thank you very much. They are asking, they want to know, somebody wants to know what's happening to the Benel Bridge. And why is it that they still are not completed?
If you
elected.